Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now it's Stafford. Oh, able to avoid him. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They give it to Williams, running right. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills,
Yep.
and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. And now out comes Houston. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Stroud. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. And Stroud now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Stroud to throw it. Touchdown! Nico Collins. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans are able to stretch out their lead. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was Nico Collins who finished it off with a touchdown reception. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. L.A. readies for its next possession. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Stafford. He'll get this one complete to Atwell. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Adams. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Texans will take over. Houston set to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Stroud. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Play action. Stroud now. That's pulled in by Brooks. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, they've certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. Mixing up the middle. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Stroud working out of the gun. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 19. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Here's Stroud. That's complete. It's Collins. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Stroud. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And it's caught. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. One of the tight ends comes in motion. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line. And here, they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And just shutting him off there. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. Stays on his feet, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Now Stafford. The left side throw complete to Adams. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Adams. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Stafford.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
Another incomplete pass there. We've seen a bevy of those. This secondary, they've been pretty good, haven't they?
They certainly have. They've allowed the 1 touchdown through the air, and they're going to be upset about that later when they watch the game tape. But other than that, they've been absolutely rock solid.
The offense on third down, they've been very good. 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Stafford.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And a good job of just fighting through 1 tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
He hits Adams complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Stafford. It's caught here by Adams. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Stafford now to throw.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line.
51 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
The Texans send the punter out, standing right on his own 5-yard line.
Here's Smith to return it.
45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
L.A. readies for its next possession. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Second and a couple.
Now Stafford.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Stafford.
Open man is Atwell, complete.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Now it's Stafford. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
2nd and 10.
Stafford looks to throw again.
He'll drop this down to Williams.
The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Throwing is Stafford. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Again, it's Stafford. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Puka Nacua. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Point after here coming up. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
The Texans offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. To Inigo Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.